Now at 10 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a driver's hospital. Soldiers from across the country are getting a Crossroads-style welcome. Around 300 defenders of freedom arrived at the Warriors Weekend Field of Honor in Victoria this afternoon for a special welcome ceremony hosted by local leaders from across the Crossroads. Like every year, the soldiers are moved by the love and support the Crossroads shows.
All these wonderful people out here, and I've never been anything like this, and I'm just overwhelmed by all the support and love that we're being shown here today.
The ceremony finished with the Warriors finding their own flag in the Field of Honor. Then they loaded buses to head to Port O'Connor, where they will enjoy a day of fishing tomorrow.
Dry conditions are leading to an increased fire risk in the Crossroads. Officials in Lavaca County say a pasture fire there started from tractor shredding activities. Mower and cutter blades can hit objects, causing sparks and then igniting the fires. Lavaca County officials say to use caution and report any fire immediately. Also remember, a burn ban remains in effect in Lavaca County as well as numerous others in the area.
We need some rain, so let's take a first look at your forecast. In for First Warn Storm Team, Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis, Meteorologist Scott Pitney has your forecast. But I'm not saying, Scott, that we need rain this weekend, okay? We got some plans.
Well, I got you covered there, Don. No rain this weekend, but we do need some rain, and I'd like to say there is going to be some rain. Got a small 20% chance in the forecast for next Friday. I know that's not much, but it's the best I can do right now. Right now for the weekend, though, sunny and warm conditions. We do have a front. It's going to be a dry front that arrives on Tuesday, bringing cooler temperatures and reinforcing more dry air, but those dry conditions are going to persist. We'll have an update on the rest of your weekend forecast coming up in weather.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott. Well, the Salvation Army of Victoria commanding officer is on the road helping hurricane victims. This is video that was sent to us by Captain Kenny Jones. He was first sent on Wednesday to Georgia to help victims from Hurricane Helene. A day later, he was sent to help victims of Hurricane Milton in Sarasota, Florida. Captain Jones is part of a 20-vehicle caravan on a 2-week assignment helping with information and communications between the Salvation Army and first responders, the Red Cross, and other organizations. Well, flooding remains a threat in some areas that are hard hit by Hurricane Milton. And rescue teams are working to get trapped Florida residents out of their homes because floodwaters have not receded yet.
I feel for everybody that's been through the same thing. Really do. I never expected to happen to me. Nobody expects it to happen to them.
When Hurricane Milton barreled out of Florida Thursday morning, Ralph and Tina Janito felt they had survived the worst of it. But late Thursday night, their daughter urgently woke them up, telling them, get out.
We left last night at 10:30 with 3 foot of water outside. So my daughter says it was going to come up even higher.
Milton's torrential downpour dumped 10 to 18 inches of rain around the Tampa Bay area. And as a result, rivers and reservoirs overflowed. And the danger not yet over, as the river is forecast to crest as high as 25 feet Friday night, a major flood stage.
This area is not supposed to get this way. It's not supposed to. We're the last road, supposedly, that floods. But now it's beyond us, all the way to Lithia.
Long after the storm was gone, Ralph and Tina unexpectedly forced to evacuate, stuffing whatever they can carry into trash bags.
It's going to be a long road, just everybody knows it, too.
CNN surveying the devastation firsthand by airboat with Hillsborough County's sheriff. His message crystal clear.
Please get out now. You know, we have some people here that we're rescuing that thought it would be okay. The water's not going down. The water's only going to increase. So if you're on the fence on whether you should leave or not leave, please, let's keep everyone safe. Let's leave now.
So many people now burdened with the thought of recovery, never predicting they would need a post-storm evacuation. Florida Senator Rick Scott visiting the hard-hit area Friday to assure the community local leaders are doing everything they can to help with that recovery.
I'm here to make sure that federal resources are here. It takes you as an individual, it takes local and state and federal to work together. So I'm here to make sure that we're going to do that.
Authorities said they experienced technical issues with the Code Red emergency notification system during a deadly chemical leak at the Pemex facility near Houston. It killed 2 workers, injured 35 others, and prompted shelter-in-place orders for nearby residents. Officials said they were able to work around the tech issue and get notifications about the leak out to the community.
The District 27 U.S. congressional race between incumbent Michael Cloud and challenger Tanya Lloyd is an important election here locally. 25 News now reached out to both candidates to hear about some of their goals and policies if elected. We are waiting to get a response from Congressman Cloud. Lloyd says that she believes she reflects the desires of the district and also puts emphasis on supporting pro-choice policies, saying she wants to defend women's health care.
I truly believe that I represent Texas values, and I will fight to represent everyone in this district. I think about women in my position now that might have the same syndrome that I had, but much earlier in the pregnancy, and not being able to make those decisions with their doctor without interference from the state.
Congressman Cloud has held the position since 2018. Voters will choose between Cloud and Lloyd in the upcoming November 5th election. And now here is our viewer poll for today. Do you feel adequately informed about political candidates in the upcoming election? Yes, somewhat, or no? Pretty much all evening it stayed right about the same, just under 80% of voters saying they do feel that they have the information that they need. So thanks to everyone for voting tonight, and be sure to vote on Election Day, November 5th.
The two major party candidates for U.S. Senate in Texas will face off in a live debate on Tuesday, October 15th. That's next Tuesday. Senator Ted Cruz, the Republican incumbent from Houston, is seeking his third term, while U.S. Representative Colin Allred, a Democrat from Dallas, was first elected to the U.S. House in 2018. You can watch the hour-long debate starting at 7 p.m. on our sister stations, MeTV, that's 33.1 KQZY, and 25 Now, 25.4. This debate offers voters a key opportunity ahead of Election Day on Tuesday, November 5th.
3 Texas Supreme Court seats are up for election in November, and for the first time in years, Republican incumbents face strong Democratic opposition with abortion rights at the forefront. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button, click the notification bell, then you'll be alerted whenever we upload new videos to our YouTube channel. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10, hacked Trump campaign documents are blocked on X, and a journalist is banned.
Also ahead, Donald Trump visits Colorado and claims Aurora was overrun by a Venezuelan gang Texas is fighting.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Victoria ISD, we hear from the City of Victoria, and we hear from candidate A.J. Louderback.
We're probably 5 plants short in our state on power. And, you know, security of our powers has always been a concern of mine. But we've got to get to work on that, and it'll be a priority for me in Austin.
Links to private documents hacked from the Trump campaign were blocked on the social media platform X. CNN reports the Trump campaign had a conversation with X officials about the hacked materials. Ken Klippenstein, an independent journalist who published the documents, said his account was permanently banned. The research dossier was compiled by an Iranian government-supported hacking operation. Former President Trump was in Aurora, Colorado today, a city Trump claims was overrun by a Venezuelan gang.
The city's mayor, a Republican, says concerns about gang activity have been grossly exaggerated. ABC's Perry Russum is in Washington with more.
Former President Trump in Aurora, Colorado, a city he falsely claims has been overrun by a Venezuelan gang.
What are they doing to Colorado? They're ruining your state. You know what you're going to do? You're going to vote for Trump and we'll solve your problem in about 15 minutes.
Colorado Senator Michael Bennet today on Trump's rhetoric.
He has such a pathological hatred for immigrants and for immigration in this country that he can't even see the economic benefits of immigration in the United States.
Vice President Kamala Harris in the battleground state of Arizona.
The people of this state have always shown extraordinary courage to stand up for the principles upon which we as a country were founded. And I thank you for that.
Michigan is another crucial battleground state. Harris is running mate Governor Tim Walz in Macomb County outside Detroit, a city Trump insulted yesterday.
Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president.
Walz responding.
That's not unexpected for him. That's exactly what he's going to do, tear down America. But if the guy would have ever spent any time in the Midwest, like all of us know, we'd know Detroit's experiencing an American comeback and renaissance.
Former President Trump continues his rush of campaign events. He's in Nevada tonight, then California and Arizona this weekend. Harris is in North Carolina on Sunday. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
The Justice Department sued Virginia Friday over its efforts to purge voter rolls within 90 days of an election. The suit comes after Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin signed an executive order requiring the state's Department of Elections to conduct daily updates to its voting list. The updates included comparing the list of identified non-citizens to the state's existing list of registered voters. The Justice Department says some of the people identified as non-citizens are in fact U.S. citizens.
A special U.S. Navy investigation into the deaths of 2 Navy SEALs while boarding a vessel smuggling weapons reveals shocking details. It was a dangerous and ultimately deadly nighttime raid last January. A team of Navy SEALs boarding a small boat off the coast of Somalia, believed to be smuggling Iranian-made weapons to the Houthis in Yemen. Well, when 36-year-old Navy SEAL Christopher Chambers, who's a former Division I college swimmer, grabbed the railing to get on the small boat, he slipped into the rough waters below. Seeing Chambers struggle, 27-year-old SEAL Gage Ingram, on his first deployment, jumped in, but within just 47 seconds, both men had sunk and eventually drowned. The reason, according to a new Navy report, the heavy gear that the SEALs were carrying. Chambers had nearly 50 pounds on his back. Ingram, with radio gear included, as much as 80 pounds. The conclusion, according to the head of Central Command, the deaths of the SEALs were preventable.
A U.S. Army soldier who was caught in a sting operation offering to help terrorists ambush servicemen in the Middle East is sentenced to 14 years in prison. Cole Bridges was arrested in January 2021 at Fort Stewart in Georgia. The 24-year-old from Ohio pleaded guilty last year. Bridges communicated with an undercover FBI agent posing as an ISIS supporter, even offering instructions on how best to attack U.S. forces in the Middle East. After his prison sentence, Bridges will have 10 years of supervised release. Boeing, the giant aircraft maker, said Friday it will lay off about 10% of its workers. That's about 17,000 people in the coming months. The company was losing money for more than 5 years, and now it's dealing with a strike that has shut down factories in the Seattle area. Officials say the job cuts over the coming months will include executives, managers, and employees.
Ready-to-eat meat producer Bruce Pack has recalled nearly 10 million pounds of meat and poultry products. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says routine testing found Listeria bacteria in the food. The affected products were shipped to restaurants and institutions nationwide. They were produced between June 19th to October 8th, so they could still be in consumers' fridges or freezers. There have been no confirmed reports of illness, but it can take up to 10 weeks for symptoms of listeria infection to show up. Symptoms include fever, muscle aches, confusion, or seizures. There was another listeria outbreak connected to deli meat earlier this year. That Boar's Head recall has been linked to 10 deaths and 59 hospitalizations, according to the CDC. Gun-related injuries are the #1 cause of death for American children and adolescents.
A new study asked parents if they teach their children gun safety and if they're safely storing those guns in the house.
Researchers from the Gun Violence Research Center at Rutgers University conducted a survey with almost 900 parents in 9 different states with varying gun laws. The study found parents who said they practice proper firearm handling with their kids were more likely to keep at least one gun unlocked and loaded with bullets in the house. The odds of a parent storing their gun unsafely was 2 times higher if they let their children practice holding the gun and shooting it under their supervision. While it seems counterintuitive, researchers wonder if this is because parents think teaching gun safety means it's not as important to lock the guns up. The Department of Justice advises 4 steps for safely storing firearms: unload guns, disassemble them, store bullets and guns separately, and lock them up securely. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
We're waking up to low temperatures. Feels like temperatures in the low 60s tomorrow morning. How warm will it get this weekend? I'll have that answer coming up next in weather. Stay with us. And welcome back. That feels like temperature dropping pretty fast, as you would expect when the air is dry. Right now it feels like temperature 71 degrees, dew point 65. Humidity jumped up at 81%. In the The wind's very light right now. Here are those future feels like temperatures for tomorrow morning. As I said, waking up to the low 60s, but then when we get to the afternoon, see that southeasterly breeze, that onshore flow bringing that moisture back in, and that along with the heat going to bring those feels like temperatures up to the mid 90s through the interior, and then along the coast upper 80s. And we get to the high temperatures for the rest, at least the next few days, mid 90s. There's your average high of 86. And then when that front comes through on Tuesday, notice the high temperatures getting back down to normal at 84 degrees on Wednesday. These are the high temperatures around the state tomorrow. Look at that, 98 San Angelo, Wichita Falls 99. Hard to imagine we are looking at an October map right there, but that's where the temperatures are in Texas tomorrow. Here's that front coming down. This is 10 o'clock Sunday night. You see it in the northern part of the state. Then I'm going to stop it right here on Tuesday morning at 4 a.m. It's going to be right on our doorstep here in the crossroads. Then it'll eventually push through. We'll see high pressure build in behind that. And with the dry conditions out there, the fire danger is going to be exacerbated with those northerly winds picking up about 20 miles per hour out of the north. So please do not burn anything. Whether there's a burn ban or not, there's going to be hazardous conditions as far as fire danger goes. But that high moves off to the east, and then we're going to see that southerly flow return, and that's why we have a 20% chance of rain in the forecast for Friday. Here's the drought monitor. This comes out every Thursday, so this is the latest. Came out yesterday. Dry conditions, what we call D0, abnormally dry conditions, D1 around Gonzales, and then as you get over into the hill country, we get into severe extreme. I suspect that these are going to get worse as we progress on through next Thursdays when they release the drought monitor then, as we don't have any rain chances between now and then. National Hurricane Center eyeing this little area right here in the Western Caribbean, just keeping an eye on it right now. Then Tropical Storm Leslie won't seem to go away, still moving off to the northeast out in the Atlantic. Then we have this new area which has a 50% chance of development, this wave that just moved off the African coast as it continues to move westward. If you're headed out on the water tomorrow, it's a great day to do it. Starting off in the upper 60s along the coast. Those winds very nice at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then as you get to the afternoon, and that southerly flow is going to turn a little bit more to the south in the afternoon. And then for Sunday, much of the same temperatures along the coast starting off in the 70s. And those winds again out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Those waters should be very smooth if you're headed offshore. If you're going to stay closer inshore, this is Port Lavaca. High tide at 7:28 a.m., low tide 8:20 p.m. Southeast winds 5 to 10. Those waves at 2 feet. Those bay waters very nice and smooth tomorrow. Port Lavaca waking up to sunny and 73 with a high of 89 by 3. Victoria 91, and then Cuero 88 with a sunset temperature of 88. Average for tomorrow for the crossroads 90s, mid 90s. Then the front comes through on Tuesday, dropping those high temperatures to the mid 80s. And look at that, 58 waking up to 58 degrees Thursday morning. Of course, you can download the Crossroads app today. Get the latest on your news, weather, and sports, and sign up for email alerts. Here is Max with sports.
Scott, we are literally about only 8 minutes away here from Crossroads Football Live here, Week 7. And I'm going to reveal 2 early scores here before the show. Find out who those will be coming up in sports. Everyone, we are only literally 7 minutes away here from where I reveal Week 7 here of Crossroads Football Live. But before the show began, I want to reveal two final scores here from Week 7. Let's check it out. The first score we're going to reveal is the Yoakum Bulldogs versus the Hempstead Bobcats. The Yoakum Bulldogs take care of business 55-14 tonight. They get to play top-seeded Columbus Cardinals next week there for Yoakum. And our second game we're going to reveal is the El Campo Ricebirds. They won 42-0 over Beeville Trojans here tonight. That game, again, thought it would be a little closer, but El Campo takes care of business. They're versus Floresville next week. But, you know, we had some football, but we had volleyball earlier today as well. How about the Edna Cowgirls volleyball team? They played at home versus the Hallettsville Bramos. Edna Cowgirls volleyball team, they won in 3 sets over Hallettsville. They proved a 19-17 overall to the Edna Cowgirls girls, and Isabella Pellatini was big for the team. And again, they get to play Hallettsville next. Actually, no, Hallettsville play Rice Consolidated. Yoakum will travel to Tidehaven. Now, UHV men's team for soccer, they played the Southwest Mustangs, and they won with the final score 4-2 in yesterday's contest. And trying to track back and forth here with the losing streak, they got on the board first. Matthias Yorstan got a deflection and got the goal for the Jaguars, up 1-0. And they would respond. Archie Mills gets the second goal, and Yair Pena gets the third. And they won the game in total, like I mentioned, 4-2. And then finally, the women's soccer team, they won also as well 5-1 over Southwest in yesterday's games. And one of the star players you see there in the photo right there is midfielder Caitlin McCarty. She scored twice in UHV's win, and McCarty's originally from Corpus Christi. And again, she said, I was a little nervous at first, but I was feeling really glad because it worked so hard to get this opportunity. And now they got to shift their attention, both teams, to play Paul Quinn Saturday afternoon. That's going to do it here in sports. Don and Shawna, back to you.
All right, 5 more minutes.
That's right. Stay right there for that. And stay with us coming up on 25 News Now at 10. We'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, a Connecticut man creates durable, eco-friendly, forever jack-o'-lanterns. Astronomers were surprised with new findings regarding the fifth rock from the sun. Jupiter's Great Red Spot wriggles and changes shapes as if it is a squeezed stress ball. The Great Red Spot is a 190-year-old storm that rotates around a high-pressure area along Jupiter's southern mid-attitude cloud belt. You had that on your map, right, Scott? This discovery about the wiggling red spot came from the Hubble Space Telescope, even though it took roughly 3 months to produce.
Oh, interesting. I'm glad we don't have a storm like that. Well, Halloween's just a couple weeks away, and one Connecticut man has come up with a creative, durable alternative to traditional pumpkins. He's a welder by trade and turned empty propane and helium tanks into what he calls forever jack-o'-lanterns. His handcrafted designs are sold at craft fairs and local events, and they're built to last for decades. You know, they don't rot and get all mushy on your front
But
step.
they rust.
They could rust, I guess, yes. Prices starting as low as $20. His creations are customizable, offering a unique eco-friendly option for fall decorating. And he says the best part is seeing his work on porches around town.
Gonna convince me that if I'm looking at that, that's Halloween. I'm looking at that pumpkin, I'm thinking pumpkin I have for all year.
I'm going to make a weather prediction. That jack-o'-lantern will last as long as that Jupiter storm.
Oh, man.
How about that?
Wow.
It may have been created by that Jupiter
I know
storm
I'm
for all we
stepping out
know.
on a limb there, but anyway, no, I know nothing about the Jupiter storm. But I do know about Victoria weather, and we're going to have sunny skies through the weekend with highs in the mid-90s. Then that front comes through on Tuesday. High temperatures drop to the mid-80s, lows down to the upper 50s, and a 20% chance of hope Friday. Hope being rain.
At least we
right.
got some cooler weather
Yeah.
coming.
Thank you, Scott. If you have food on your table, thank a farmer. Tomorrow's National Farmers Day. It's the end of harvest season, and farmers are working hard each day to, to feed their families and ours. But before seeds even find their way into the ground, farmers and their families supply a stream of jobs. Farmers keep small and large communities going strong through manufacturing, marketing, and tourism. National Farmers Day used to be known as Old Farmers Day, going back to the 1800s.
Yes, and of course we know around here we have lots of farmers. We know how busy they are and how important their job is.
Me.
So definitely make sure that you thank a farmer this weekend.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Keep it right here. Next, Crossroads Football Live, the latest and the greatest Texas high school football. Have a great Warriors weekend, everybody.